welcome to this session in our Q&A series brought to you by the Costa Rica Project.com and the Association of Responsible Detoxification International. The links to both sites are below. My name is Marco, one of Dr. Morse's many students, and fellow student is Matt Bennett. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Marco. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So today we're going to talk about foods that detoxify. And I think before we speak about the foods that detoxify, I'd like to just have some sort of definition or your perception of what detoxification is. There's so many different connotations, and everyone seems to know the word, and everyone seems to have a different opinion as to what it is. What do you think about the definition for it?
Yeah, so detoxification, there are definitely a lot of different opinions and kind of different thoughts about what it really is. There's the people that think they can detox their bodies in a weekend or in a week or two. But what I really promote is that making detoxification a lifestyle is really the thought process we want to use when we think about detoxification. So detox is really just removing accumulations and toxins and obstructions from the body and opening up the eliminative pathways of our bodies, which is the kidneys, the colon, the lungs, and the skin, and really focusing on just eating clean, not incorporating foods that are known to cause, toxic byproducts in the body, such as things like meat and dairy are two things that I really encourage people to eliminate from their diets because there's so many toxins that are created in the body when we ingest that. But, just a basic definition of detoxification is allowing the body to remove toxins faster than they accumulate in the body. So,
right, because it's a natural process anyway, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We really shouldn't have to even think about it, but in today's world, with all the different processed foods and working inside all the time, it doesn't really allow for the body to go through its natural processes as efficiently as it could.
I like what you said, allowing the body to remove the toxins quicker than they're accumulating. You know what? That's the first time I've heard that, and I like that. Okay, so what sort of foods promote this, and what sort of foods don't promote it? Well, I think you've just said, right? So meat and dairy.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that you'd put on that list of things to perhaps avoid or eat less of?
Yeah. Definitely processed foods, a lot of, even things like, and this is, being in the strictest sense, grain products and a lot, beans and things like that. I think that, the grains are really the biggest factor as far as if you're familiar with Arnold Aerate and his book, The Mucosa Diet Healing System, grains, meat, and dairy really create a lot of mucus in the body. And when we have mucus production in the body, we end up kind of getting clogged and sludged up. And the lymphatic system really isn't allowed to flow properly and remove all the toxins that are created from the foods that we eat. And when there's a lot of that mucus in the body, that is just a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and viruses and things like that. So keeping the system free of mucus and, well hydrated with fruits and vegetables is the best way to keep the body functioning at top notch.
Right. And the book you mentioned by Arnold Aerate, The Mucosa Diet Healing System, that was written over 100 years ago.
Right.
Talk about.
That's the thing, why are so many people unaware of this when this information has been out there for so many years? That's something to think about.
It really is. And I guess if we want to go even further back, or you know, I don't know, Matt, because I know in I've been a fan of your YouTube channel for your original YouTube channel for a long time, and you spoke in one of them about detoxifying and detoxifying emotions, and I think detoxification, it's an emotional thing too, an awareness. I think it's important to have a heightened awareness of your own thoughts, feelings, your ego. I think it's really important, and just the fact that here we are talking about food on one level, on a real basic level, it's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. And, I have seen some amazing transformations in my mental attitude, my just overall emotional and spiritual condition since getting onto a detoxification lifestyle. I used to suffer with depression and really poor self-esteem and just, not the greatest outlook, for life. And once, even though I was still in that state, I was really, I had just that little flicker of light in me that told me that, there was something that I was doing that had to change. And once I found Dr. Morse and some other YouTubers that promoted Dr. Morse, that is when the light really started to ignite, and my whole disposition on life and my depression really went, went away. And that is so um, telling of how connected our emotional body and our physical body is. Because, when you clean out the body, your mind has no other option but to clean out as well. So it's just a natural process of detoxification, and your mind is going to really benefit if you remove the toxin, the toxic buildup within it. So.
Tell me, Matt, on a typical, just on an average day when you can do whatever you want, maybe at a weekend or whatever. What's your how would you describe your diet, your typical diet?
My typical diet would be I basically eat fruit all day until my dinner, which I'll have usually a big salad or something similar to that. I'm probably about 90% or more raw, given depending on the time of year. Towards the winter, I do eat a little more like steamed veggies and things like that. Um, and sometimes I do have rice or beans, but I don't believe that um, even though I don't believe those are really our natural foods, I think that it's okay to keep balanced with those foods because they're much less offending to the body than say meat or dairy or anything like that. And so if you need to stay balanced, definitely do what you can, with the conditions that you're in.
I do the same thing. I do the same thing. You actually echoed my diet too. So fruit all day. What would you say to someone that says that's too much fruit?
I would say if that was the case, I wouldn't feel the best I've ever felt in my life. The body is designed to take in fruit. We create energy, which is ATP for the technical term, uh, through carbon, oxygen, and and water. So that's really how we create our energy. So to think that more of our natural food, it, it's just kind of silly.
I agree. I completely agree, of course. And I think we come back to something we said in our other video that we did was in our first video, um, where you just have to try it.
Exactly.
You just have to try it because I don't think you and I met last year in Florida at Dr. Morse's Level 2 Detoxification summit, and I don't think I don't think there's anyone that we saw who didn't feel the same way. And you just have to try it, don't you? You have to try it, and then things will happened to you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you. Thank you. You have two YouTube channels.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
and they are, you said, Steps to Success?
Small Steps to Success is the one that has over 100 videos on it.
Okay,
And my new one is Raw Intuition. So
Raw
that one is
Intuition.
just starting up, but I'm looking to put on some more high quality videos on there. So
Okay, well, we'll make sure that both your YouTube channels are on the About section here too. Matt, as always, thank you. Look forward to speaking with you again.
yeah, thank you, Marco.
Take care.
You too.